Everything as well as they can. That's what we're doing tonight. You guys are doing great now, man. This is perfect. Look at that. Look at that video for a second, you guys. That's defective VHS tapes. It's called glitch art. This bass player is a bad one. He knew who Jamie Jamerson is. Thank you so much for coming. He knows how to lay it down low. We're not going to try to blow your ears out too much, but it will happen at times. In 2.5 hours, we'll be doing Maggot Brain by Parliament Funkadelic, and you will have to use headphones or earplugs if you don't want to lose your hearing permanently. There's nothing worth hearing anymore anyways, but Frank Zappa's going to be featured this Thursday down at the Venice West with a 14-piece orchestra. I highly recommend you checking that out. They'll have Napoleon Murphy Brock, one of the original Zappa singers there. Guest trombonist Bruce Fowler, who played with Captain Beefheart. Where is Venice West? Did someone ask that? Venice West is 1717 Lincoln. It's right down the street. It's where Gregory Hines used to play, and Mojo Nixon. And they've been being a bourgeois rock club for several years, but occasionally they have some amazing things. They had John Mayall played there, and did you know, Phil? He passed out. They had to call an ambulance. He's like 85. But hey, he's still playing. Then we got the Venice Heritage Museum. How many people have been to the Venice Heritage Museum? Raise your hands. Whoa! Check it out. An amazing venue. And I'm doing salons there last Sunday of every month where we discuss music, art, the ocean, film. These guys know dynamics. But I know you're dying to hear stuff about James Joyce. That's why you're here, right? Yeah, she's nodding her head. Yeah. James Joyce. Sick puppy, but you know what? He knew what he was doing, changing the literature form. You know, we all know that. What's the two biggest literature events in the history of the world? The Bible and Shakespeare. Give me a break. The third one is James Joyce.
Yeah.
It's pretty. Who's saying that?
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
I got my copy.
Yeah. And this is really good. You guys. We're gonna bring up a reader now. We're gonna go into loud, funky music, but we're gonna bring up just so you get a little of your. Amazing. Stewie on flute. Okay, so Stewie. Alex on guitar. Amazing. Now this kid right here, Alf, was playing on the boardwalk, and I heard him play for literally 3 seconds. And I went up to his band members and I said, "Do you guys like Snarky Puppy?" And he goes, "Oh yeah." And I said, "So, you want to play at our Ulysses event?" And they were like sort of snooty. But then once I got talking to this guy, he knows my two favorite words, and it's called follow up. He knows how to send an email, and he got a band together and rehearsed them. Isn't this cool? Got Crazy Gary on keyboards. Look at that guy, man. Star Wars t-shirt. Just how crazy are you, Gary?
Very.
His heroes, Keith Everson, you know, Everson, Lake and Palmer. How many people know this? The dude blew his brains out with a shotgun like half a mile from here. Yikes. He also played a Kim Fowley song, so all the power to him. That's nice. I like that. Okay. Okay, so here we got to keep in mind that all these great artists like Frank Zappa and James Joyce loved audience participation. So that means you don't just sit there passively. You get involved with the act of creation. You're the co-creator. So Lawrence Ferlinghetti is the kind of guy who would hang out in a place like this. He started a bookstore up in San Francisco the year I was born, 1953, and it's still there. It's called City Lights. And Ferlinghetti loved Allen Ginsberg. We're in a poetry center. Allen Ginsberg premiered the reading of Howl, his poem, you know, with people like Ferlinghetti. And here's what we do at all our events. We try to reword aphorisms. Don't just settle for a witty little quip. I mean, we know Andy Warhol said, in the future, everyone will be famous for 15 minutes. Now it's like, dang, TikTok's less than 15. TikToks are like, what's the limit on TikTok? Anybody know? Like, no? 3 seconds, that's it. You know what the industry standard is? That, you know, music executives will listen to a demo. You want to guess? It's 10 seconds. Mine is 3 now. I've been ruined. So you know, my friend reworded, everyone will be famous for 15 seconds to everyone will have privacy for 15 seconds. There you go. That's it. So we're going to go along with Ferlinghetti's rewording of the great line from Howl by Allen Ginsberg, and it went like this. I've seen the best minds of my generation, blah, blah, blah. Oh, destroyed by madness. Destroyed by madness. Okay, here's what Ferlinghetti said. I've seen the best minds of my generation bored at poetry readings. So that's what we're here. We hope you don't get bored tonight. Now, the Australian Aborigines have no word for boredom. Does that mean they never get bored? Who knows? So to get to the point, we're going to do call and response. That's the Occupy movement did this. It's called the human microphone. So I say something and then you repeat it. So this is where the band's got to really pay attention. When I say these 2 words, then we stop and they say the 2 words, then you go right back in it. Okay, let's try this. Okay, here we go. Open door. Open door. That was good. Professionals. That's why they're going to college to learn how to be musicians. Okay, here's the next one. You guys ready? Me, them, and then stop. Open books. Open books. Ooh, that was badass basement. Okay, we're just flipping right into line 3. Open mind. Here's Ferlinghetti's last one. Who can guess it? Open Heart. That was good, guys. So you know Delmore Schwartz, who read the Richard Linklater interview in the New York Times last week? You know, Richard Linklater has a new film out, and they're asking him. Delmore Schwartz is Lou Reed's hero. The dude loved baseball, Finnegan's Wake, and got a little drunk in his career being a great poet in New York City, and couldn't tell. This guy's really listening intently. I love this. And he couldn't tell, are the great artists more obsessed with their art, or are they more obsessed with their life? Like, which one are you supposed to be obsessed with? Well, you know, the stupid balance is you're supposed to have a balance. But, you know, some of these artists push it so extreme that Jeff's nodding his head, yeah. So what is it, Jeff? You should be more obsessed with your art or more obsessed with living a life or something in between? Well, we know it's both. You know, more obsessed with deconstructing life. Okay, we'll leave it at that. That's brilliant. Now, if you don't know, this is the guy that Stephen Colbert learned his best lesson in life from. Jeff, thank you. He needed a lesson. He's pretty successful. What can you say? So we're going to blend art, music, literature, dance, and film tonight in regards to like the great American novel. You know, this is what, wow, look at that. You want to just whip into your song there? Get your mic over there, Alex. So they asked Marshall McLuhan, you know, this idea of the great American novel. That's what you could say Joyce was kind of trying to create, the great universal novel with Ulysses. Then he got good reviews and he was pissed, so he sat on the toilet for 17 years and farted out Finnegan's Wake, thank God. We know Finnegan's Wake's better than Ulysses, but you're supposed to say Ulysses is better than Finnegan's Wake. Right? They're both stories, yeah. Yeah. It's playing with words. It's language about language. Very good. I know you. What's your name? What's your name? I know you. Huh? Thank you, Matthew. So, Matthew, I remember you. Okay, so you used to come to my Finnegan's Wake Reading Club. So, in that regard, we're going to have Alex do an original song about, what's it called? Headlines. So you're just going to melt right into this one. And then we'll get into some Ulysses. So this is about, yeah.
Check, Mike, can you guys hear this one out here? Eric? Check, check, check. Check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2.
Check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Still read the paper each and every day. Ink stains on my fingers just won't wash away. bright and shiny quarters by. 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, they come on riding by. Can't you see them riding by? They're called greed, despair, a war and always fear. After just 2 pages, mama need to drown my sorrows in my beer. The lies they spread never rang more true. Never rang more.
We're going to have a little harmonica solo by Paulie and then a keyboard solo by Gary, but I never did get to finish my point, is that when they asked McLuhan who can write the great American novel, he says you can't write the great American novel because the front page of the newspaper is the great American novel. So now when you check your email and they shove all this news in your face, that is the great American novel. You can't escape it. Play the blues, brother. Blow your harmonica, son. Crazy Gary. Thank you, Gary. Go ahead. Woo! Just how crazy can you get?
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was original song by Alex. Thank you, Alex. Ocean, that's rhymes with ocean. Frank Zappa said the ocean is the ultimate solution. Who gets that joke? Took me 40 years to get it. What does that mean? The ocean is the ultimate solution. Okay, we're going to have Jeff come up now because some of you guys are wanting. Okay. They wanted to know what key it was in. The joke is with musicians, you say it's in the G of a key. Just walk it. Just walk it. Nobody play it. Okay. Imagine you're in a bar in Dublin. U2 is in the back alley praying to get into the Sphere in Vegas. How many people here have been in that Sphere in Vegas? Nobody? Yeah, you know, if anybody watched the YouTubes of the Sphere, anybody know what the Sphere is? Whoa. Anyway, The Dead? My friends went and said that the Dead were way better than, no, Fish was way better than the Dead for utilizing the footage. Now, I mean, come on, let's give a hand for John. Better than the Sphere right there, John Cannizzaro. Look at that. And he's running 16 millimeter projectors. So all the way from not Mar Vista, women are from Mar Vista, men are from Venice. But the cool guys are from Marina Del Rey. All the way from Marina Del Rey. Got Jeff. He's going to read from Edna O'Brien's book about James Joyce. So listen up. This is Edna O'Brien describing what, if anybody wants to suffer through reading the entire book of Ulysses, you're going to get it in 2.5 pages right now. This is like Cliff Notes, but with a really creative writer and a really great reader. Go ahead, Jeff, take it away.
Can we just do one short thing to get us in the tone? What's the biggest mammal in the world? Whale. 3-letter word for petroleum. The meat from a cow. Beef. And finally, when you catch a fish, you hook. So say those 4 words: whale, oil, beef, and hooked. I'll be hooked. You will be. Everybody, say whale, beef, whale, oil, beef, hooked. Whale, oil, beef, hooked. Whale, oil, beef, hooked. Whale, oil, beef, hooked. Now I'll read. 16 June 1904. In acknowledgement of Joyce and Nora's first tryst. Taken baldly, the story is quite conventional. The character is neither tragic nor heroic. A host of Dubliners, and in particular Stephen Dedelis, Molly Broom and her husband Leopold Bloom, depicted in an uninterrupted unrolling of thought, a method which Joyce first came across in a novel by Edmond Dujardin. But, as he said, he was giving Dujardin cake for bread. Stephen, the embryo Telemachus, leaves his lodgings in the Martello Lower, walks into Dublin, takes a question and answer class, parries with his superior, and then goes to Sandymount Strand, where his aesthetic reveries jolted by needless conscience, and his idealization of young girls as innocent seabirds contrasted with the pictures of whores and the she-fiend's whiteness. At nightfall, he will meet Leopold Bloom in the students' quarter of a maternity hospital, where young men speak in a strife of tongues, and a woman in labor struggles overlong to give birth to her bully boy. Okay. Leopold Bloom, that womanly man, has begun his day by going out to bury kidneys for his breakfast. On his return, he picks up the post and recognizes a letter from Molly's paramour. His quickened heart slowed at once. Blazes Boylan, who is also her manager for singing engagements. At 10 o'clock, he sets out for work, a fairly dilatory task of canvassing advertisements for the Freeman newspaper. En route, he collects an illicit letter waiting for him at a restante address, where he's known as Henry Flower. It is from Martha Clifford, a lovelorn typist. He drops into a church hoping to hear sacred music and is disappointed. Orders face lotion for his wife, visits the public baths, goes to a funeral in Glansnevin along with 4 pontificating Dubliners, has a glass of Burgundy, goes to the National Library to check out old advertisements in the back issues of newspapers, buys a saucy book, Sweets of Sin, for his wife, partakes of an early supper in the dining room of the Ormond Hotel, glimpses his rival, Blazes Boylan, who has come in for a quick tipple, overhears Simon Didelis, father of Stephen, sing a lament about exile and separation, and is unnerved by the knowledge that Boylan will still be privy with Mrs. Bloom. Tries to blot it out, can't, addresses his dead son with a rueful exclamation. Hate, love, these are names, Rudy. Soon I am old. Later he's harangued by a fervent Irish citizens, takes himself for a consoling walk on the sandy Mount Beach, where as luck has it, his roving eye falls on Gertie McDowell, herself filled with mutinous longings. Knowing that she will succumb, Bloom remonstrates with himself. At it again? His next stop is the maternity hospital where Miss Mina Purfoy, the one with the Methodist husband, has been a couch for 3 days, while the medical students, those votaries of levity, distract themselves with drink and ditties. First he tickled her, then he patted her, then he passed the female catheter, for he was a medical jolly-o. Later in the evening, he and Stephen Dedalus, who's somewhat intoxicated, repaired to Bella Cohen's brothel, a den of grotesqueness. Copulations with the living are interrupted by confrontations with the dead. An icy Shakespeare crowned by the reflection of an antlered hatstand. And Stephen's mother, eyeless, toothless, in leopard gray, a spectacle redolent of Macbeth's witches, telling that she loved him long ago when he lay in a room, and warning him to beware. Shite, he says, retaliation, and smashes a lampshade. He will not serve. Non serviam. On the way to number 7 Eccles Street, they repair to a cab shelter for a sobering cup of coffee, and thence to the Bloom household, the lot sought Ithaca. Bloom is restored to the nuptial bed and falls asleep beside his wife Molly, the clore of a book named after the faithful Penelope. Molly is a marvel of licentiousness, noddle and non-guilt, as wise to her husband's dalliances as to every other miscreant walking the earth. Refuses to have a maid in the house for fear of her cajoling Bloom in the watercloud, the WC. But wouldn't mind a young boy. Imagines him seeing her garters and turning red, gloating on her by the hour. She remembers many a thing, her husband's clabbery, the black clothes breeches he made her boy, her labor when bringing forth her daughter Millie, romping with Boylan earlier on, a corset she would like to get, the mountains and the meadows, the abundance of nature with fine cattle going about the fields of oats, flowers of all sorts and shapes springing out of the ditches, primroses and violets, Her first kiss under the Moorish wall, Bloom's wooing of her torrent of images ending in a cluster of yeses.
That was crazy, Gary, all the way from, where are you from again, Gary?
Haverhill, Massachusetts.
All right, let's give it up for Massachusetts.
We don't all say park the car and have the coffee. We don't all do that.
Now that's very wakey, and he didn't even know. He's walking into a James Joyce event and he knows how to talk right. Okay, you know, we got a lot of great readings, Jeff. That was beautiful. We got a lot of readings to do here tonight. If you're so inclined and you can swallow the microphone and do a reading, please tap me on the shoulder and I'll give you something to read. We got more Finnegan's Wake, more excerpts from this great book. Look at that picture of James Joyce. Okay, we're going to have a little musical interlude here. To Be Everyone. That was it. That was the intro. To Be Everyone. Are you ready to just meld right into your set, Elf? Watch this. This is magic, people. This is why Walter Pater said all art aspires to the condition of music.
All right, everybody. This song is called Take Me. You know what they say, right? Neither do I. You guys know who Jimi Hendrix is, right? Yeah. Good, I don't either. No, I'm just kidding. All right. All right, this is called Third Stone from the Sun. All right, this one's kind of hard to pronounce because I got a lisp. It's called 50th Threat.
Thank you. That was the Meters Sissy Strut. Thank God for New Orleans music. You know, they invented this thing that if you lived in Venice very long, you go to the New Orleans parades that Arthur Reese started many, many years ago, a black man in Venice, and then Bruce Langhorne, who played drums with Dylan, revived the New Orleans parade on the boardwalk when Katrina hit. Say it again. Bruce Langhorne was Mr. Tambourine Man, indeed. And now we have our continue.
I'm Mr. Tambourine Man. Oh,
Gary's really Mr. Tambourine Man. Now that Bruce is dead, he ate too much hot sauce. But believe me, we love Bruce. And thank you for putting money in the tip jar. That was very nice of you. This cost me a lot of money to put this on tonight, but it's going towards a good cause because it's all bending your minds. You're all under the control of MK Ultra. And the point I was trying to make is that Jessica and Johan continue the New Orleans parade every year. And I hope you join in. And what they do is the tradition of the second line. And that is in New Orleans, when people die, they have a parade. And then the crazy people dance in back of the main parade. And that's where they let it loose. And that's really what Venice is all about, is letting us crazy people just let us do our thing and no one will bother you. As Susie Williams' song goes, everybody's normal in Venice. Yeah. So we're going to bring Kelly up in the middle of this song, bring up Ron on the trumpet here. This guy's played with Art Ensemble of Chicago, John Lee Hooker. You know, this is the blues. I want to tell you about the blues because I learned this from Ray Charles. The blues is sucking honey off the thorn of a rose. Try to do that. John Lee Hooker wore sunglasses on stage because he didn't want the audience to know he was crying. But the blues is not about negative, it's about flipping a breakdown into a breakthrough, a rejection into a redirection. It's about feeling good. We're going to have another original now by Alex. Thank you, Alex. And this is a blues.
This is darkest moment. They say it's darkest before the dawn. They say it's darkest moment. They say it's darkest before the dawn. You step off that ledge, my friend. The sun will rise before it's gone. mind that fall, son, 'cause it's a long way down. Mind that fall, son, 'cause it's a long way down. If the round comes to rise and meet you, you know there's no turning back around. Days grow shorter. Old man winter's coming down this way. The days grow shorter now. Old man winter's coming down this way. For the man that's broken, you know the sun already went.
Okay, Kelly's going to read a little from Edna O'Brien's book about James Joyce. Come right up here. Kelly's a great artist. She has got a show at Small World Books. Check this out. Art. You can walk into the bookstore on the boardwalk and see Kelly's art. Amazing artist. And she's going to read and swallow that mic here, Kelly.
Mr. Moeller, the member of the Guild, unwisely tried to compare its importance to the innovative works of Sigmund Freud. When the moment came for the offending passages, which Mr. Sumner had selected to be read out, one of the judges asked that Miss Anderson be removed from the court as an act of propriety. He seemed to have forgotten that she had published the material, or else assumed that, like the Serbian printer she had employed, it was double Dutch to her. The other two judges found it so incomprehensible that they asked for a week's respite to collect their faculties and read the entire episode. When the trial resumed, things got fractious. John Quinn contended that Gertie's exhibition of her drawers was not nearly so flagrant as the skimpy attire of mannequins in Fifth Avenue. The prosecuting attorney became so apoplectic that Quinn pounced on him and cited it as clear evidence that Ulysses did not corrupt or fill people with sexual urges, but in fact did the opposite. It made them implode with anger. The judges laughed at this ruse, but nevertheless the editors were convicted, fined £50 each, and forbidden to publish any more installments of Ulysses. For Joyce, it was a repetition of the slaughter of Dubliners. Various publishers in New York who had expressed some interest in the book were no longer prepared to publish it because of a fear of prosecution. And he said despairingly, "My book will never come out now."
Thank you, Kelly, because you guys got to realize this. This is how great Venice book collectors are. I bought a Ulysses book, James Joyce's Ulysses, which happens today on June 16th, the day James Joyce's wife gave her husband up on their first date. That's what we're celebrating. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So I go to this garage sale about 3 blocks from here, and there's a copy of Ulysses for $5. So when the U.S. government made this book illegal, they were releasing bootleg copies of this book in America. You come over to my house, Fioca Funny Farm, and I'll show you. In the back of this issue has penis enlargement ads. That should tell you something about how they thought this book was dirty. And really, it's just great writing, but, great writing encapsulates everything. And so we're going to just meld right back into the end of Equinox Blues. Thank you, Ron and Stewie, for this horn arrangement. Go for it. Thank you. Thank you, Ron. I hope you stick around. We're going to do a sort of Tower of Powers blues song. Can you? Oh, he's waiting for the lap dancers. Yeah, so is Phil. If you believe that, I got some swampland just off the coast out. Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Just low. Yeah. Good. This bass player is so cool. You know why? Because I says, who you like? And he is James Jamerson. If you don't know who James Jamerson is, you better look it up on your Wikipedia. Okay, we're going to have the great Brad Kay step right up here to the podium. Then we're going to bring out Susie Williams, too, and we're going to bring up Lisa. She's going to have an orgasm on stage. This is almost as good as lap dancing. Now, Brad is one of the greatest musicians in the world. I mean, come on. We're lucky. And he lives just a couple blocks from here. His house is a museum of music. And, you know, he plays like 20s to 40s music. And one day he played here, and we're doing like 70s Sly Stone, Miles Davis funk, and he's there blowing his trumpet, and it sounds like Miles Davis. Look it up on YouTube. It's like Light My Pyre on YouTube. Brad, it's just outstanding. So we're going to have him because he's become addicted to reading Ulysses. He loves it, and he's one of our best readers. And that's what we're celebrating today, this book, Ulysses, by James Joyce. But this is a paragraph by Edna O'Brien about Ulysses. You ready, Brad?
Yeah.
Swallow that microphone.
All right.
Real quiet, guys.
I didn't shave today. Okay. Jerry has requested that I read the following passage in this book. Hello. Okay. Ulysses, he had made out of next to nothing, but Finnegan's Wake, he was making out of nothing at all, with thunderbolts in it. A book of the night. He described it as a mountain which he tunneled into from two directions, not knowing what he would find. It was a case of more maps, more encyclopedias, more street directories, but this time the arena was the world. Although dear old Dublin, Dublin, that's a play on words, you understand. Dublin, Dublin would be the principal locale. Myth and transubstantiation, giants and humans would incarnate into one another, and eventually be converted into trees, or cloud, or rivers. Rivers dominate the narrative, 800 in all. Mississippi and Missouri, Seepy and Sewary. But most of all, the river Liffey, from swerve of shore to bend of bay, brings us by a commodious vicus recirculation back to Howth Castle, unquote. Howth, gotta get that out. Howth was the burial place of Finn McCool, the giant Irish hero, whose frame was so vast that his head was in one place, his belly somewhere else, and his feet in Phoenix Park. Finn McCool, progenitor of the Mr. Tom Finnegan, the hazy, dency hod carrier. Howth was also the most vulnerable point of Dublin Bay, being open to invasion from foreigners. Yeah. Bagmeister Joyce was himself soon to suffer the assault of critics and even stalwarts for this verbal acupuncture.
Okay, so Brad is going to flip from reader to running this beautiful piano here. And he's going to teach this band a blues song. It's sort of a jump blues song that Susie's going to sing. Okay, you guys come. You guys, could we give a hand for the bass and the drums? They never even had a chance to take a piss. Dude, you guys are great. These guys are out there eating cookies and checking out the lap dancers before they come out. And you're working your butts off. Really, I appreciate this. So they're going to learn this song. Susie, you want to teach the bass and drums this song? So you're gonna get, this is behind the scenes. This is a great song Susie wrote about dumpster diving right here in Venice. And you know, I've dumpster dove books on how to explain what Joyce is saying in Venice. Can you believe that?
Okay, guys, I'm calling you guys. I hope you gals don't object. Everybody's guys. Okay, guys. So Jerry co-wrote this song, Jerry Fialka, my spouse. And look at these attractive people. Oh, my.
Who's Jerry Bianca? The beat, the tempo. Oh, that guy.
Chair, but at my favorite dumpster, your feet were in the air. Get your own bad habits. Your own bad habits. Get your own bad habits, and don't be glomming on mine. I pick up coarse expressions from the north, east, west, and south. No sooner do I use them than they coming out your mouth. Forget your own bad habit.
Get your own bad habit.
Your own bad habit.
Get your own bad habit.
Against your own bad habits. Don't go glomming on mine. Ooh, yeah. So much when you picked up my brand of beer, but ooh, I hate to see you swinging on my chandelier. Forget your own bad habits.
Get your own bad habits.
Your own bad habits.
Get your own bad habits.
Forget your own bad habits. Don't be glomming on mine. Ooh. you, Mr. K. Last verse. I love my songwriting, but I think it's mean that your latest song title is Get Your Own Dubious Routine. That's not nice. Get your own bad habits, honey. Get your own bad habits. Your own bad habits. And don't you. I do not want to see you glomming on mine.
Susie Williams, thank you so much. Thank you, Brad K. You guys ready? Here's another little mini set from Elf and his killer band. Thank you, Eddie. So, you know that Joyce is about language about language. So words evoke more than their meaning. And the word funky, which is, we're going to hear 2 funk songs that I wrote by this amazing band. They're going to play it. I helped transcribe it and taught these guys. And the word funky evokes more than its meaning. Fun is the key. That's what funky music's about. As George Clinton says, free your ass and your mind will follow. So if anybody wants to dance during these next 2 songs, feel free to do that. And this is Can't Fool Computers, and the story behind this is, you know how when they first put barcodes on all our grocery products, and they would just slide them through, and then the clerk didn't even have to look at the price. It was just the barcode would give the price. So then if you were sneaky and you wanted to combat consumer culture, you could peel the label off the product, and the older price, which was less, was underneath it. And so he's like, wow, I can get this product cheaper. And guess what? The barcode did the updated price, so you can't fool computers. That's the story behind this song. Thank you so much. They're going to be back to play another funk song and Magabrain, but we're going to bring up the great Smokey Bobby Miles. Smokey is going to be playing, Robert's going to be playing the accordion. We want to thank Alex. Thank you, Alex. But we're going to be playing Magabrain. You're not going to be here. Well, we're playing in honor of Alex because he says, well, let's play this song years ago. And it is about Mother Nature. And I learned a new word yesterday, not matristic. Who can tell me, who invented matriarchy? What caused matriarchy? Can anyone tell me? Wait, one at a time, raise your hand. Women cause matriarchy. That's very good. And there's another word called matristic, which is a little better than using matriarchy. Some people, like Maria Gambudis, who's been celebrated in this very room, the great archaeologist and anthropologist who taught Brianne Eisler, the Chalice and the Blade, about cultures that had no war. We're all brainwashed to believe that it's natural for people to have war. And some of us might doubt that. Right, buddy? Right, Miles? Smokey, tell us about the accordion. Step right up to the podium here. You're going to have Susie read about Little from Ulysses, the book we're celebrating today by James Joyce. And Smokey is gonna. What do you want to start off with? Like a little jig or a little? You know, Danny Boy has got some great lines in it. Because there you go, Irish Revolutionary songs.
That's right. Oh, there we go. Positioning. Hello? Hello? What is this thing? This thing is going south. It can be tightened or something? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, this thing is, maybe this is there, and that should be there.
I mean, where do we tighten this?
Titans. We gotta bring in the Titans.
Where's Ulysses?
Just falling down like that. Oh.
It is screwdriver.
A screwdriver. Who's got it?
No, I got screwdriver.
I forgot what I'm doing here. I think it. Well, no. This is for a vote. Yeah, but this? I don't care. Just one that's here and one that's down here. Okay. Now well, okay. There we go. Okay. Yeah. I don't. I really don't. This thing is so loud anyway. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. What was that? All right, John Kelly, the boy from Killan. What's the news? What's the news on me bold Chevalier with a long-barreled gun from the sea? Say what wind from the sun blows his messenger here with a hymn of the dawn for the free. Goodly news shall ye hear, youth of Forth. Goodly news shall ye hear, Budgeman. For the boys march at dawn from the south to the north, led by Kelly, the boy from Killan. Tell me who is the giant with the gold curling hair, he who rides at the head of your van. 7 feet is his height, with some inches to spare. He looks like a king in command. I mean, boys, that's the pride of the bold Chevaliers, amongst our greatest of heroes, a man. Oh, Easter beavers aloft and give 3 rousing cheers to Kelly, the boy from Killan. And his Scorthy's in flames and old Wexford is won. The Barrow tomorrow will cross. On the hill or the town they have planted a gun to batter the gateway to Ross. The 4th men and bargeemen march o'er the heath, with brave Harvey to lead in the van. But the foremost of all in that grim gap of death will be Kelly, the boy from Killan. Ah, the bold son of freedom grew darkened in Ross, and she sat by the Slaney's red waves, and all Wexford stripped naked hung high on a cross, with her heart pierced by traitors and slaves. Glory, oh, to her brave sons who died for the cause of long downtrodden man. Glory, oh, to Mount Leinster's own darling and pride, dauntless Kelly, the boy from Killan. Thank you. Irish? Oh, Joyce related? Did he like the nightlife? Yeah, James Joyce liked the nightlife. Is that thing going south? I'm having a little, this accordion has got a leak. And nobody knows it's got a leak. So I got to get it to the accordion shop, get it fixed. So he'll take that leak out. Hey! This is for James Joyce's love of the nightlife. Oh, there are some people who wake up in the morning. They spend their whole days moping and yawning. How can they do this? I'll never know why. I love the nightlife till the day that I die. I like the nightlife. the right life. I like those bright lights. Say lovey. I like the nightlife. Don't like the quiet life. That wild, wild nightlife is the life for me. How could anybody worship the sunshine? It would tan your hide and wrinkle your skin. That's why I stay awake till the dawning. Neon lights are better, keep you sharp as a pin. I like the nightlife, it is the right life. I like those bright lights, say lovey. I like the nightlife, don't like the quiet life. That wild, wild nightlife is the life of me. Everybody dancing now, hey! One of these days, maybe I'll slow down. Until then, it's always a hoedown. Yippity, yuppity, hey, hey, hey. I can't sleep at night, it's my time to play. I like the nightlife, the bright life. I like those bright lights, say lovey. I like the nightlife, don't like the quiet life. That wild, wild nightlife is the life of me. I like the nightlife, it is the right life. I like those bright lights, say lovey. I like the nightlife, don't like the quiet life. That wild, wild nightlife is the life of me. Wild, wild nightlife is the life of me. That wild, wild nightlife is the life of me. Yay! So, Susie, are you coming up now? Is that what's happening? Oh. I don't remember it. There's an Irish one. About Kevin Bowery, another sad one. In Montjoy jail, one Monday morning, high above the gallows tree, Kevin Bowery gave his young life for the cause of liberty. Just a lad of 18 summers, and yet no one can deny. As he walked to death that morning, he proudly held his head up high. Now he's standing to attention in his dreary prison cell, where the soldiers tortured Barry for the cause he knew so well. Now he's standing to attention as he bid his last farewell to his broken-hearted mother, whose sad grief no one can tell. For the cause he proudly cherished, this sad parting had to be. And to death walked softly smiling, so that Ireland might be free. Another martyr for old Ireland, another murder for the crown, whose brutal laws may crush the Irish, but can't keep their spirits down. Lads like Barry are no cowards, from the foe they will not fly. Lads like Barry will free Ireland. For her sake, she'll live and die.
That is Count Smokula. He's known by many names, and he's really good. And his mother had a great time teaching Bob Dylan's wife. This is literally true. How to give birth to a baby in Woodstock. That was her job. And she came over and I'm going to give birth. He says, well, your husband's got to be here too. And so Bob went up to her and says, dude, we don't do that in our family. And she turned to Bob and says, the times they are changing. For real story. Okay, Bobby, thank you. Bobby Miles. Okay, now we're going to have some real readings with no stupid rock music in the background and all that. No, it's not stupid rock. It's great rock. Well, John, what are you doing? Taking a rest? Okay, so what we're going to do is have female, male, female, okay? So first, we're going to have Susie read something from Ulysses by James Joyce. Then we're going to have Eben read a little from Finnegan's Wake, and you're going to follow along. That's the difference between reading Ulysses and Finnegan's Wake. Ulysses, you don't really have to have the text in front of you. Finnegan's Wake, you have to. And then we're going to have another reading from Edna O'Brien by Penny. And then we'll go back into some loud funk rock music. And it's good shit, right, Gary? You guys are great, right? Okay. That's Crazy Gary. Okay, we got some feedback here. Yeah.
This is getting penultimate here. I think I'm going to be a little more pen to a Penny, who might be a little more ultimate than me, and then Lisa Robbins is going to be super ultimate to read. Oh yes, thank you, Jerry. The perfect accompaniment for me. Thank you. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I'm a Finnegan's Wake person, and I think it's because both books are so complex. But Finnegan's Wake, you don't have to pretend to understand. Whereas Ulysses apparently makes sense. You know, but here's what makes sense, and of course, Finnegan's Wake makes its own sense as well. My life is filled with James Joyce, and I do recommend this duo doing a wonderful Fringe show, Jim and Nora. I guess it's Nora and Jim. Oh, that was a great show. I was in tears the whole time. Okay, here we go. Molly Bloom in bed, thinking aloud. Thinking aloud to herself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What kind of flowers are those the aunt invented? Like the stars, the wallpaper in Lombard. It was so much nicer. The apron he gave me was like that something only I wore it twice. Being better, lower this lamp and try again. So as I can get up early, I'll go to Lamb's. there beside Laughtears and get them to send some flowers and put about the place in case he brings them home tomorrow. Today, I mean, no, Friday's an unlucky day. First, I want to do the place up. Some way, the dust grows in it. I think while I'm asleep, then we can have music and cigarettes, and I can accompany him. First, I must clean the keys of the piano with milk, whilst I wear, what shall I wear? Oh, a white rose. Or those fairy cakes in Lipton. I love that smell, the rich shop, 70 a pound, or the others ones, like the cherries in them, with the cherries, the pink sugar, a couple of pounds, of course, a nice plant for the middle of the table. Ooh, I'd get that cheaper. And wait, where's this? I saw them not long ago. Oh, I love flowers. I love flowers. I love to have the whole place swimming in roses. God of heaven, there's nothing like nature, the wild mountains and the sea and the waves rushing and the beautiful country with the fields of oats and wheat and all kinds of things and all the fine cattle going about. That would do your heart good to see rivers and lakes and flowers, all sorts of colors springing up. Even out of the ditches, primroses and violets. Nature it is. As for them saying there's no God, I wouldn't give a snap, not of my 2 fingers, for all their learning. Why don't they just go and create something themselves? I ought to ask them, and I should, those atheists, or whatever they call themselves, go and wash the cobbles off themselves first. Then they go howling for the priest when they're dying. And why? Why? Because they're afraid. They're afraid of hell on account of their bad conscience. Ah, yes, I know them well. Who is the first person in the universe before there was anybody that made it all? Who, they don't know, neither do I.
Of the Lit Show, you should thank you so much. And the Lit Show is where they sing songs by people who wrote books. So many people don't know that Dorothy Parker wrote 2 songs that Billie Holiday sang. And Tennessee Williams wrote a blues song that Marlon Brando sang. And for 17 years we've been doing this. And it is an amazing list. So please join us July 20th. And Eric, maybe there's this little feedback. Should I get rid of this? Huh? Don't touch that? Okay. Okay, so we're going to have Evan, who I met on the boardwalk because he read my box on my bicycle, and we spent about an hour talking. So Evan, you want to step up here to the podium, and we're going to hand out. Can we bring the house lights up, Eric, from out here? It used to be there, but so I'm going to hand you, this is the difference in reading Ulysses and The Wake. So we're going to read a paragraph from The Wake, and you follow along and you look at how Evan mispronunciates. I don't. You got a good education, right? Yes. And so you look at the words as they're being pronounced by him. Okay, so I'm going to give everybody here, we got quite a few copies if you could share it, and then he's going to start. And this is page 593 in Finnegan's Wake.
And you know, Jerry, I'd like to speak well of your box. I do like a good bicycle box. And seeing as that you had one, I couldn't resist but to strike up a conversation. Oh, me? Oh, yeah. Y'all like James Joyce? Thought you might. Y'all like Finnegan's Wake? Sunrise! Sunrise! Sunrise. Calling all downs. Calling all downs to Dane. Hooray! Surrection. Ear weaker to the world beyond bloodian world. Oh rally, oh rally, oh rally. Flanksity. Oh, rally. To what life like thine of bird can be? Seek you so many matters? Hey, sea east to Oceania. Here, here. Tas, pat, staff, wolf, have, blove, rotter. The smog is aloften, and already the older man has gotten up on other times to litinate the bone amours. Son fiend, some a fiend avant. Good morning. Have yous viewed Piers Abu? 9 years agone we have used up yours, up since when we have fused now orther. Calling all Danes to dawn. The old breeding bastard coming with natures to find McGooligan. The leader. Securus jubilans albus tormamam. Clogan slogan. Wake up, dim dusky. Wook doom for husky. And let Billy Feenan be ballad out of his humiliation. Confidention to churchin. We have highest gratification in announcing to pewter publicanist of practician pratty users, Genghis is good for you.
Keep going, dude.
A hand from the cloud emerges, holding a chart explained. The ever sower of the seeds of light to the crowd of owl sows that are in the dormitory of deafment after the night of carrying in the world of Noahs and in the night of making me's to cuddle up in a coddle pot. Pooh, Nuseth, Lord of Horizon, in the yonder world of Nepotlin, dope triumphant, speaketh.
Evan, have you ever read Finnegan's Wake ever?
I have to admit,
Nope.
my virginity.
That we broke his cherry, man. How cool is that? Now this is the cool thing. You know, we've read Finnegan's Wake in Venice for 3 decades as a group of people. You know, in the library for years, and now for 4 years on Zoom. And if you go to the Dublin Finnegan's Wake Reading Club every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. online, this is what happens. People walk in this little store. It's called Sweeney's Pharmacy, where they sell lemon soap because it's in this book. It's like a tourist trap. It's in Ulysses, and this is the deal. It is amazing how people, virgins, can get a hold and see what Finnegan's Wake experience is. Now, some of you might go, this is fucking bullshit. You know, we had a guy show up at Venice Public Library once, Irish dude with a big nose, and he watched us read this and he goes, "Do you guys believe this shit?" But this is language about language. So, Evan, you did an amazing job. Now, Penny's going to come up and do a little paragraph from, thank you so much, Evan. And Evan's a talented musician, too. And hopefully we'll have him play his music someday. Penny's been doing Finnegan's Wake for quite a few years now with us, and she performs next door at Pacific Residence Theater sometimes. So Penny is reading from Edna O'Brien's book about James Joyce. It's just a paragraph. And then we'll have more surprises. Those lap dancers are coming up soon.
Hi there. Come on, I'll get really close to it. Okay. Okay, mostly I want to see this page. That's what's interesting. Okay. Hi. Buy a book in brown paper from Faber and Faber to see Annie Liffey trip, tumble, and caper. 7 sins in her sing things, pluribels on her prose, seashell ebb, music way river she flows. In Book 1, Chapter 5, Anna is described by 2 washerwomen gossiping by a river, stooping and steeping the sin and the stains out of the dirty torn clothing they have been hired to wash. Each one is egging the other on to tell about Anna in the Franca Lugua, at that to call a spade a spade. Oh, you'll die when you hear Anna was licked by a hound. Chiripa, chiruta, while doing her pee, pure and simple on the spur of the hill in old Kippur, in bird song and shearing time. But first of all, worst of all, the wiggly, lively, she slips out by a gap in the Devil's Glen, while Sally, her nurse, was sound asleep in the sloot, and Fee-Fee-Fi-Fi fell over a spillway before she found her stride and lay and wriggled in all the stagnant black pools of rainy under a fallow coo, and worse still, procured for her husband his affluence, the dirty dumpling, the services of the young girls, playthings to sit on his lap. Her husband is a bumpkin. Wasn't he caught in the fiendish Phoenix Park doing a terrible thing, getting girls giggly temptatrixies to undress, so as for him to indulge in improper acts like passing water, or worse, and this in front of 3 swaggering soldier boys? Wasn't the disgrace conveyed in a ballad that fluttered throughout Ireland on a handkerchief? Deliverance comes many puzzles and many ramifications later. I went past my dot.
Woo! Yeah, look at that was the dirty part. So, the young boys, they're still in college. Dirty literature. Wrong. All right. Okay. So we're gonna have Lisa. You ready? Oh wow, we got a really treat here too. But here's a you know, some of you came at the end, so I wanted you to be audience participant. I mean, at the beginning. Yeah, that's right. I got the end and the beginning. The beginning is my end, and my end is my beginning. That's T.S. Eliot. Sorry, I got that mixed up. So, Ferlinghetti, the great poet Lawrence Ferlinghetti, hosted Allen Ginsberg's poem called Howl many years ago. And who knows the line? I've seen the best minds of my generation destroyed by madness. So the whole point with all these one-liners that get repeated, yeah, the whole point with all these lines we repeat as mantras is to reinvent them. Like Newton taught Umberto Eco, you stand on the shoulders of giants and you look farther. Don't just settle for whatever they teach you. Take it a little farther, transform it. So Ferlinghetti took Allen Ginsberg's line, I've seen the best minds of my generation. He says, I've seen the best minds of my generation bored at poetry readings. So that's exactly why we show psychedelic films and have loud rock bands playing, so we don't fall asleep at these. Now, the cool thing that Eric did right there in the booth is every Beyond Baroque event now is streamed live and it's on YouTube. So you don't even have to come and park and go in this room. You can just watch it in your lonely teenage room on your computer or your cell phone. But you people are lucky because you're here to experience Lisa's reading the end of Ulysses, where the woman is either coming or going or whatever she's doing, but it is an amazing scene. So you always, they're over at the Hammer right now, big hotshot art museum, reading some parts of Ulysses, but this is where it really happens in the underground at Beyond Baroque. So it's our honor and pleasure to have Lisa Robbins reading. Thank you, Lisa. And then we're going to bring the band up and they're going to wiggle around and
where's Smokey? I don't know. Do I want Smokey? I don't know. If you feel inspired, just come on in. All right. The sun shines for you, he said the day we were lying among the rhododendrons on Howth Head in the gray tweed suit and his straw hat. The day I got him to propose to me. Yes. First I gave him the bit of seed cake out of my mouth. And it was leap year, like now. Yes. 16 years ago, my God. After that long kiss, I nearly lost my breath. Yes. He said I was a flower of the mountain. Yes. So we are flowers all. A woman's body. Yes. That was the one true thing he said in his life. And the sun shines for you today. Yes. That was why I liked him. Because I saw he understood or felt what a woman is, and I knew I could always get around him. And I gave him all the pleasure that I could, leading him on until he asked me to say, yes. And I wouldn't answer first, only looked out over the sea and the sky. I was thinking of so many things he didn't know. Of Mulvey and Mr. Stanhope and Hester and Father and old Captain Groves. And the sailors playing All Birds Fly, and I say stoop and washing up the dishes, and they called it on the pier. They call it on the pier, and the sentry in front of the governor's house with the thing round his white helmet, poor devil, half roasted. And the Spanish girls laughing in their shawls and their tall combs. And the auctions in the morning, the Greeks and the Jews and the Arabs and the devil know who else from all ends of Europe, and Duke Street and the foul market all clucking outside Lorby Sharon's, and the poor donkeys slipping half asleep, and the vague fellows in the cloaks asleep in the shades on the steps, and the big wheels of the carts of the bulls, and the old castle, thousands of years old. Yes. And those handsome Moors, all in white and turbans like kings, asking you to sit down in their little bit of a shop. And Rhonda, with the old windows of the posadas, glancing eyes, a lattice hid for her lover to kiss the iron. And the wine shops half open at night, and the castanets. And the night we missed the boat at Algeciras. The watchman going about serene with his lamp. And oh, that awful deep down torrent. Oh, and the sea crimson, sometimes like fire, and the glorious sunsets, and the fig trees in the Alameda Gardens. Yes! And all those queer little streets and pink and blue and yellow houses, and the rose gardens, and the jasmine, and the geraniums, and the cactuses, and Gibraltar as a girl where I was, a flower of the mountain. Yes! When I put the rose in my hair like the Andalusian girls used, or shall I wear a red? Yes. And how he kissed me under the Moorish wall. And I thought, well, as well him as another. And then I asked him with my eyes to ask again. Yes. And then he asked me, would I, yes, to say, yes, my mountain flower. And first I put my arms around him, yes, and I drew him down to me so he could feel my breasts all perfume. Yes, and his heart was going like mad. And yes, I said, yes, I will. Yes.
So you got to realize the U.S. government wanted to what? You want to read one Ferlinghetti? Okay, while they're setting up, Polly's going to read a Ferlinghetti. But here's the thing: you got to realize the U.S. government made that book illegal. You know, you couldn't mail it through. It was like a big deal. Read the book, the most dangerous book in the world about Ulysses. It's amazing history. But then the judge goes, hey, this is not so bad. The justice system. Okay, so here's a poem by Ferlinghetti, and then we're going to have the band funk out to Maggot Brain by Parliament Funkadelic.
We still have 2 songs.
2 songs besides Maggot Brain? Yeah. Oh my God, we got 3 songs. What a treat. And so,
as long as we're talking about this guy, Ferlinghetti, poetry as it serves in art.
Here's Ferlinghetti by
and here's
Polly.
a poem. Actually, what is poetry? I dropped it here. Hello. Oh my goodness. Just going to read a little bit from a poem entitled "What is Poetry?" Poetry is what we would cry out upon coming to ourselves in a dark wood in the middle of the journey of our life. Poems are burning bows. Poems are arrows of desire. Poetry gives words to the heart. Poetry is the truth that reveals all lies, the face without mascara. The greatest poem is lyric life itself. Poetry is making love on hot afternoons in Montana. Poetry is the earth turning and turning, with its humans every day turning into light or darkness. La vida es sueño. Life is a real dream, and poetry dreams it. But poetry serves many masters, not all beatific. Every age gets the poetry it deserves. Eyes are stars, stars are eyes looking down at us with indifference, the blind eyes of nature. There are 3 kinds of poetry. Supine poetry accepts the status quo. Sitting poetry, written by the sitting establishment, has a bottom line dictated by its day job. Standing poetry is the poetry of commitment, sometimes great, sometimes dreadful. The idea of poetry as an arm of class war disturbs the sleep of those who do not wish to be disturbed in the pursuit of happiness. Dissident poetry is not un-American. The highest poetry is saying we might die without it. It can salvage deeply tragic lives. It is the voice within the voice of the turtle. It is the face behind the face of the race. It is the voice of the 4th person singular. Poetry, the last lighthouse in rising seas. Thank you. Well, Well, yeah, I know. I have to actually. Thank you.
Jerry.
That's it.
You guys so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we ended with Jeff Beck. B, A, B, C. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Alf. Pasha, right? Pasha. Jacob. Stewie, and all the great musicians and readers tonight. Thank you for coming. This happens because of you guys, and thanks to John for the films, 16 millimeter films. Thanks to Will Erickson for the main video in the middle, and thanks to Eric Alberg for our tech. Thank you so much. Great going, dude.
My smile is stuck. I cannot go back to your frown land. My spear's made up of the ocean and the sky and the sun and the moon and all I can see. I cannot go back to your land of glue. My smile is stuck. I cannot go back to your frown land. My spear's made up of the ocean and the sky and the sun and the moon and all I can see. I cannot go back to your land of gloom, where black jagged shadows remind me of the coming of your doom. I want my own land. Take my hand and come with me. It's not too late for you. It is not too late for me to find my homeland. Where man can stand by another man without an ego flying, with no man lying, and no one dying by an earthly hand. Let the devil burn, and the beggar learn, and the little girls that live in those old worlds take my kind hand. My smile is stuck. I cannot go back to your frown land. I cannot go back to your frown land.
old gray. There's old green. Where's the bobbin? Oh, no rain. A print. Dust blows forward and the wind blows back. And the smoke back blows. What am I gonna die? A white Lake riverboat just blew. Bubbles pop big. And a lipstick next. Tongue on a point. Reminds me of Bobby Girl.